write about it. It has a checklist, and then it also follows up with strategies, and it breaks it up for like difficult behaviors, anxiety, putting no effort, and then ADD and all of those things. So I thought that was really awesome.
Excellent, fabulous. Because when we can help those kids with behaviors, they're going to be able to feel like they can be successful in the community. It's beautiful.
Alright, so some of my kids are starting to master multiplication, so I needed to find a lesson to like transition between multiplication and division. And I found this one that literally asked the question, how are multiplication and division related? How is division an unknown factor problem? And what are the parts of the division problem, which I think would help them understand that.
That's great, because that's a hard concept to teach and learn. Super. Okay, we'll go to our next table here.
I've already planned my lesson for this semester, and I'm doing it over close reading, and I found a video just to kind of like go deeper into like instructional strategies, because we just kind of
Was it Rick's video?
Over.
Is it Rick's video?
It just says grades 3 through 8 ELA curriculum.
Great.
But I was like, we briefly have talked about it, and I just thought it would be kind of interesting to go like deeper into it to learn a little bit more about it. So I thought that was neat, so I shared that.
Wonderful. What's next here?
So I shared an article on understanding and working with students and adults from poverty, because I mean, I'm not saying all, but like most of the students I've worked with came from situations where poverty was an issue. And so I think like being able to go more in depth of their daily life and like what they go through, and maybe like learning ways to get them more involved in their education would benefit, and especially if you're like someone who's never really dealt with poverty. Your outlook on your students could be different, so just like being able to like understand where they're coming from could be beneficial.
You know, that's beautiful, and it's very important. We actually had a principal who asked us to put those working with students with poverty into ZUNI, because he really wanted to help his teachers to really develop a better understanding of just what's happening with them emotionally, what they're struggling with, so that they could be better connected with to help them see the great opportunities. Anybody else at the table?
So I really want to work with elementary students, like kindergarten, first, second, third, through there. And I think it's really important. We talk about read alouds in another one of our classes and how important they are, but a child doesn't want to listen to you read every single day. And so I found, the one that I found is about Cinderella, and it has like an interactive video going on as it reads along, and it has the words up there, the video's talking to you, and then it has the pictures to go along with it to grasp the concept better and to give them a visual and help keep them engaged, and I really like that.
That's wonderful. Did you happen to find the storyline online when you were there as well?
I didn't.
I'll show those in just a minute, yeah. So remind me if I forget to show you those as well. Did you two want to? You don't have to.
I found it's for behavior, and it's just 10 apps for teaching emotions. And so I shared that one because I know I've worked with kids that have emotional issues, so finding apps for them to play and be interactive with, I thought that was really cool.
Good, excellent. Okay, table back here.
So I shared one about drawing conclusions. It's like a drawing conclusions graphic organizer, because last semester I was in with second graders, and so they talked about like, what does this story mean? How can we relate it? And so they would each make their own kind of, but I think it would be easier if they all had the same. That way they can all like work on it together in groups. So I just thought that was cool, and it's free, and so you can print out as many copies as you need.
Good, excellent. Those graphic organizers are it's such a good visual for our students to compartmentalize and then see it together. That's great.
I did one, it's a video, and like as you watch the video, it stops and like asks questions throughout the video. And this one's about science, but it would work with any subject. But I like it because I know when I was in high school, I was really bad about like just skipping through a video and not actually watching it. So this like makes your students have to watch it in order to be able to answer the questions. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wonderful, excellent.
I tried searching for anything related to English language learners. I saw that there wasn't a lot about it, but I did see this like, I guess, chart, like some similarities between learning disabilities and language acquisitions. And I thought that was really neat because my mentor teacher, she had a student who she thought was just really low, and it just turns out that he came, this was his first year in America, and so he just didn't know, and he's in 9th grade.
That's excellent, because it is used for bilingual purposes over in Arizona, actually. So their bilingual instructors do it. If you go to specialty areas, you'll see bilingual, levels 1, 2, 3, and you'll find a ton of resources to help work with bilingual in that section. Right there.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but we just let you guys explore, so we haven't shown it to you yet. Yeah. So she uses it over in her bilingual in Arizona all the time, and it's for her. She actually uses it K-12. So just teacher resources, or no, specialty areas, and then you'll see bilingual levels 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, one table left.
Alexis, you want-
Okay. I found something about writing prompts, and basically it had like writing prompts and videos connected to the writing prompts. So like basically you could play the video for the students so they could understand what the topic of the day was, and then basically go into detail about the writing prompt basically. And I just feel like it's really good to show students what you want them to write about first, so they can have a key understanding, and then go back and have them write. I really enjoyed the writing prompts, because I'm really all about like handwriting, usually expressive language and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's great. That's good. That's that model, like you said, model first, lead. Excellent. Good.
I found a parent input form for IEP meetings, so it like asks you different questions of like, what do you think the students' strengths are, behavior issues, and like, it pretty much is like a pre-meeting thing, so you could give it to parents and then they could come into the IEP meeting, and it also makes them sign it, so it's almost like a contract thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And like we talked about, in special ed, documentation is very important. And parents feel very intimidated. They're scared when they're coming into IEP meetings and their kids are getting assessed. And to be able to have tools that help them to feel more confident and that they could have a strong conversation and a better understanding, it's really important. So that's wonderful.
Okay, so I have 9th grade resource and inclusion English, and right now they're watching To Kill a Mockingbird. So I really wanted to use the fact that they're watching a movie to go into another lesson. And so I found a lesson on how to write narratives using movies or TV shows. And so you would pick a like small excerpt, maybe a scene from the movie, and have them watch it, and then you would ask the students to write a small excerpt as if they're writing to someone that's never seen the episode before. So you're having them write sort of a narrative without telling them they're writing a narrative. And so then after they're done writing, you'll have them talk about it, and that goes straight into them learning about characters and setting an action.
I love that. I'm going to share that. So I'm going to look and see where you shared it, because one of my student teachers I'm observing is doing movies in his classroom, and we were talking about how can you extend it into writing.